Now, the cider industry has today been fighting back after the decision to raise the level of duty by 10%.
Yes, thousands have shown their support for an internet, is that the word?
I think it might be internet.
Campaign launched by a Norfolk student. There's even a move to get the Wurzels to #1 in the music charts as a protest.
But organisations dealing with alcohol abuse believe the increase is sensible. Malcolm Robertson reports.
At the aptly named cider shed in Norwich, what the Chancellor's done to their favourite drink was very much the topic of lunchtime conversation. The cider went down rather better than Alistair Darling's decision to raise the duty on it by 10% above inflation.
We're pretty indignant about this. This is just taking money out of our pocket again. It's an unofficial tax. It's such a healthy drink as well.
As a protest against the increase, there's a campaign to get the Wurzels to #1 in the charts. And University of East Anglia student John O'Reid's voiced his displeasure by setting up a campaign group on a social networking site. He's amazed at the response.
We had about 30 people join in a minute, and as a result we had 15,000 people now on the Facebook group who all are quite angry with the decision.
Ryan Bernard serves the cider he himself makes. Because he produces less than 7,000 gallons a year, he'll be exempt from the rise, but that's not the case for Raspall's at Debenham in Suffolk. Their cider making dates back to the early 1700s. Today they make around 4 million litres a year, which is 90% of the region's total production. Their prices will soon be going up.
We have to pass this cost on now. The customer will then have to pass it on to his customer. Certain instances that could be 2 or 3 steps down the supply chain, at which point you could be looking at more than the 5 pence per litre increase. You could be looking at a 10 or 15 or 20 pence per litre increase.
In the face of considerable opposition, the government today defended the increase.
Historically, cider pays lower rates of duty compared to other products, and cider will now pay a duty at a rate of about half that of beer.
A decision supported by organisations who deal with alcohol problems and who are worried about strong cider on the market.
Cider plays a huge factor in binge drinking and antisocial behaviour. And cider is very cheap, very cheaply available, and that's a real issue. So as part of a range of measures start to get that manageable, then it's a good thing.
But from responsible drinkers, there's a rather different message. Malcolm Robertson, Anglia News.
OK, do you remember the TV programme Soldier Soldier, which launched the career of Robson and Jerome? Well, last night, the real-life singing servicemen were in Suffolk.
Yeah, the Soldiers are a singing trio from the 1st Queen Dragoons Guards and the Corps of Army Music. They performed at the Ipswich Regent. Their debut album, Coming Home, has sold a staggering 600,000 copies, and they've raised hundreds of thousands of pounds for charity. Martin Stew went along to meet them.
Their debut album, Coming Home, went double platinum. 2.5 million copies of their CDs were given out with a Sunday newspaper, and they've raised nearly £300,000 for charity. But singing sensations The Soldiers still haven't given up their day jobs in the army. Now Lance Corporal Ryan Idsey, Warrant Officer Gary Chilton and Staff Sergeant Richie Maddox are taking their tour on the road, and last night were in Ipswich.
The wave of support that we have had from the general public, it's not just about the music, but it's, like you said there, what we represent, and that's just so noticeable when we come out on that stage. You know, that we had banners the other night, didn't we, from Well Done Royal Anglian Regiment and all this sort of stuff, and it's just mind-blowing, the support we have had.
Gary and Richie both joined the army at 16, having played in brass bands as children. Ryan had never sung in public until he went on the X Factor in 2007 and was narrowly pipped at the boot camp by Ridian.
What's more intimidating, the Taliban or an audience who are baying for your blood?
Audience. I know what I'm doing when I'm a soldier, say out in Afghan or back in the regiment. At least I know what I'm doing. Coming out on the stage, you don't know what to expect, and sometimes I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a really, really big difference.
I can honestly say some of the moves we've got on stage, they're not in the army drill manual at all.
We've been looking, can't find them.
All we'd learned was the squaddy two-step down in the naffy when we were 16 years old, but now we're doing sort of moves boobs and shakes and all sorts, aren't we?
The tour finishes in Lowestoft on Friday the 16th of April. Come Monday morning, it's back to the day job and a bit of ribbing from their mates.
We do get the mickey taken out of us, but deep down they're all pretty, proud of us and happy for what we're doing and stuff like that. So yeah, but 9 times out of 10 it will be, come on, brew on, or hey, superstar, come on.
Yeah. Like when I walk around the Ministry of Music, there's one guy there. Every time he sees me, he's been doing it since the start. He just goes. But it's good fun.
And they're good at it too. Cadets will be collecting at each of their gigs to raise even more money for the Army Benevolent Fund, Help for Heroes and the Royal British Legion. Martin Stew, Anglia News, Ipswich.
Look like they really enjoy that. Good luck with the rest of the tour, guys.
Yeah, we'll go like that now, can we? Well done. Now with details of tonight's news at 6:30. Here's Mary Nightingale. What a story.
That was a bit of a soggy old day today, wasn't it? Let's get the details with Amanda.
The Anglia weather. Sponsored by Anglian Home Improvements.
Hello and good evening. So it's fairly miserable out.
To say goodbye until tomorrow night. Till then, have a very good evening. See you then.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.